Everyone's looking to keep their head above water financially, and the best way to breathe a little bit easier, of course, is the budget.
Sounds easy, right? Well, just might be that. It may not sound like the most exciting activity, but it really could save you a lot of money.
I think I'd rather watch the paint dry on the wall than do the budget. But where do you start? How do you do it? Investment planner Michael Freudberg from Raymond James in Arlington is here today, and he has some tips that just could help you find a little more of that green stuff in your wallet. Michael, you know, why is it such a big deal for some people and so easy for others? Some people just want to ignore it, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people are really happy when money comes in and not so happy about money going out. And so they ignore it, and that's really the worst thing you can do. And also, you know, some people are math phobic, and there's really not that much math involved, so it's important to sort of get past that.
Addition of subtraction, basically, is it, right?
Addition and subtraction. You might have to multiply by 12 to see if it's, you know, monthly to annual expenses. Maybe, you know, there's 52 weeks in a year, everyone, so, you know, you might have to multiply by a week. But other than that, there's really nothing too complicated from a math perspective,
right,
or really from any academic perspective.
But would you say it's actually a crucial thing to make a budget?
I think
everybody absolutely needs one?
I think that unless you're very, very disciplined, everyone absolutely needs one. And it's the very few people who know they don't need one that can, you know, pass in the next 2 minutes of the show. But pretty much everyone needs them, and almost everyone who needs one is probably not doing it.
Right.
And so it's important to sort of, you know, gather everything together.
I think there's this powerful, also this sort of ostrich effect where people just kind of like bury their head in the sand and hope for the best, you know. They don't want to.
You know, you go to the ATM, you pull out $200, and the next day there's no money in your wallet, and you have no idea where the money went. That's not a good thing.
Bad thing.
Yeah.
Very, very bad thing.
And
all right,
some
so
people just feel like they, you know, as long as there's enough money to pay all my bills, I don't need to pay any attention to it.
Until it's not enough money.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so let's correct that right now.
Sure.
Start with the very, very basic numero uno. Record or gather your financial statements.
Oh, yeah.
You got to know how much you
Absolutely. One of the great things about our electronic credit card world is that everything is there given to you. You know, you can see if you gather your monthly statements, keep track of your credit card bills, look at your online banking statements or your regular banking statements, it's all there for you. It's all, hey, you spent, you know, $2,000 on your mortgage, you spent, you know, $5 at Starbucks, and then $5 at Starbucks, and then $5 at Starbucks every day. And so you can, you know, pull these things together and see, you know, on a monthly basis what you're doing.
Wow, my intake of coffee is more than my mortgage.
Exactly. and you know, maybe you want your intake of coffee to be more than your mortgage because, you know, maybe your mortgage won't get paid if you don't wake up for work. But at the same time, at least good to know.
So this means we all have to really be good at keeping records, or else we don't have these things at our disposal.
It's very easy. You just have a file. You know, credit card goes in this file. Just put it right in there, and no problem.
So it sounds like there's two piles here. You got to have how much is coming in, how much is going out.
Absolutely. I mean, how much is coming in? You know, keep your pay stubs. If you get, you know, maybe you get direct deposit, and then you don't really realize money's going in. But, you know, online pay stubs are available through your employer. Ask your employer about them.
Also on the record, on the internet?
Also on the internet. It's, you know, it's all there for you. It's just a matter of bringing it together. And it may sound daunting immediately, but once you do it once, it's all there.
Yeah, you click it to favorites. You know,
Exactly.
You got them all right there. Boom, 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 right down the line.
But as far as the money that's going out, I mean, there's some expenses that we all know are kind of concrete every month, and then there's the iffy stuff.
Sure. Well, there's a couple of expenses that everyone has. You know, you're going to be in a house or an apartment or rent. You're going to have your car. You're going to have any other transportation if you take the metro or whatever. You're going to have groceries. You got to eat. You got to have some fun. So an entertainment budget is important. And on the entertainment budget, you know, maybe you're going to count eating out as entertainment. Maybe you're going to count it as food. But make a decision going in so you know how to budget for it. You don't want to be splitting things up. Again, don't want to do math. Well, 30% of this meal was entertainment. You don't want to be doing stuff like that.
Right. And so, and that's the one real variable in this entire equation is that entertainment expenses and the variable expenses that change.
Sure.
Maybe the unexpected car repair, maybe the unexpected doctor bill, or a higher heating bill on a cold month. But
I mean, it's very difficult to, you know, you're not planning for a car accident, but that's why it's important to have savings in case unexpected things happen. But, you know, you're going to have some medical expenses every year. You can look back at the last few years, and, you know, if you're getting older, maybe they'll be a little bit higher. If you're, you know, all of a sudden you started jogging or something, maybe it'll get lower, hopefully.
So you try to anticipate
You
some
try to
things?
anticipate some things, and you know, if you're looking at only your statements from, you know, the summer, you're not going to realize, hey, wait, I'm going to be buying Christmas gifts for my entire family in December. So, you know, it's important to realize your seasonal expenses. If all of your kids have their birthday in April, then you're going to know, okay, well, there's going to be some birthday party expenses here. Just sort of plan those things out a year in advance, and then you know they're there.
So worst case scenario, you do the math, you find out that what you got going out is more than what you got coming in.
Yes.
So you need to make revisions in that case. What's the best methodological way to approach that?
Well, look at the big numbers first. Your big number is probably going to be your mortgage, and there's, you know, not tons you can do, but maybe talk about refinancing a mortgage. It's a good place to save money now. You know, maybe you can make some adjustments in what you're going to be putting your big money towards next. Like maybe you think that you can afford a car, maybe you should put off your car for a year. But then, you know, that deals with the longer term stuff. You also have to think about the shorter term stuff. If you can get any of your daily expenses down, that's great. If you're eating out too much, you can cut back there. If you're going and buying, you know, very expensive food at the grocery store, you can try and make things stretch a little bit further. There's always little places you can pick up.
We've had on the show the coupon lady.
Yes.
Who makes a living of gathering grocery store coupons and pays about, I think, 1/5 what most of us pay at the grocery store.
Yeah, I think I've seen her there once. And
apparently there's a few of them around the country, and they all call themselves the coupon lady.
Well, you know, you could do Costco versus Whole Foods or an upper end kind of place too for the regular shopper.
Absolutely.
Well, you mentioned about having a little bit of savings. How much would you recommend of your earnings be reserved for savings?
It depends on how much of your income goes to your expenses. I like to look at it as your monthly expenses times about 6 months of immediately available savings, you know, in a savings account where you can get it the next day. You don't want to be caught without a job and have no money in the bank. You don't want to be caught having, you know, some medical bill and have no money in the bank. So it's important to really make that part of your budget. And if you're not to 6 months yet, put that into your budget. I want to, you know, push, you know, make it an expense basically, because eventually it might come down to it being an expense.
Okay. And
All right.
I'd like to review it too in the future.
Yeah, such a sound advice, sort of the basic stuff, but if you follow these principles, it works. Michael Freudberg, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
And see, folks at home, it really wasn't that painful, was it?
Now we'll all be motivated to start anyway. Thanks, Michael.